Good evening. Welcome to another exciting program, The Queen's Grapevine. This is your host, Wallingford Lee. Tonight in Grapevine, we want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about tax preparation and, the pros and cons of it. One of the type of things that we want to get into when we talk about tax preparation, we want to talk about how you prepare an individual form, a long form, and also how the preparation of tax returns are for a corporation and a subchapter S corporation. We want to take this opportunity, again, as the Grapevine continue to do, is to kind of educate our community and prepare them. And since we are in a cold month of December, we know January is coming, and of course February, and tax season is April. So we want to jump ahead of the curve and talk about these important things that is beneficial to you and that can only help you in the long run in terms of doing what is the right things and what you can claim and what you cannot claim. So tonight in Grapevine, we're privileged, and obviously it gives us a great deal of satisfaction to have our special guest in our program, who is a professional accountant. I'm talking about Mr. Jose Valerio, who has been kind enough to come on the Grapevine to share some time with us. Welcome to our program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's good to have you here because, tax preparation is something that's become so sensitive today, and, you want to know what you can claim and what you can't claim, and what better person to talk to a person like you that have the background and the experience of the preparation.
Of course, but, just to preface what we're discussing here, it's sad that people only think about accountants for the first 3 or 4 months of the year. When you have an accountant, you have to work with your accountant all year round, because that's the only way that you can benefit, by making sure that anytime you come across some issues that you call your accountant, and that your accountant will give you the correct information. So it's not just for the beginning of the year. Accounting should be an all year.
I happen to agree with you 100%. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of us make that mistake, just rush March, April, thinking that that's the way to do it and looking for miracles. And as you properly and professionally mentioned, there are other months, and there are very important issues that need to be addressed, and you can't just, like coming to the doctor when you have cancer and you're almost dying. You don't do that.
No.
An accountant actually, as he stated, and carefully and rightfully so, should be looked at long-term because of the need that you as a client have, whether it be professional or personal, and you're 100% right about that.
Another fallacy that most people are not even aware is that you don't have until April 15th to file your taxes. You can ask for an extension. What you have on April 15th is that if you owe money and you don't pay it by April 15th, then you start accumulating interest and penalties.
Exactly.
But you actually have much more time to file your return. So if you work with your accountant closely and you find that you don't have the time, you can make an estimated guess of how much money you have to pay by April 15th and then file for an extension. It's very important to make sure that you file for the extension on time, because I've seen a lot of clients who think that they mail the extension on the 15th and it doesn't get to the state or to the IRS, and then you don't really have an extension to file.
Well, you bring up a very important thing in an extension. It's a key situation for you to use on the right circumstance, as Jose just mentioned. If you don't owe any money and you're running late in your preparation and you have a good accountant like Jose, via him, you can file an extension. Now, how long is the extension for?
The extension is for 6 months, okay, until August 15th, and for corporations, September 15th. So you have a little bit of time. They give you 6 months to file the return. If you're going to get a refund, you don't even have to file for an extension because it's automatic. Now, the government doesn't like you to file late when you're getting a refund, because they want to make sure that you file on time. But if you don't have the time to get together with your accountant, you do it by the end of April, beginning of May. You file, you get your refund, and the government is not going to be too unhappy about it.
So if you do an extension and you didn't complete it within a period of time, as long as you don't owe any money,
you can file for an additional extension. Okay, they give you the flexibility of filing for an extension after the due time, which is August 15th. I forget. I don't usually carry these dates in my head, but you actually have 6 months from April 15th to file.
One of the key things I'm always asked myself, and what I have the answer, but I think for educational purposes of our clientele, how does a customer chose a good accountant?
Well, what you need to do is you need to make some phone calls. The way I do business is I don't advertise. I let my clients advertise for me. If you come to my office and you're happy with my services, you're going to tell 5 individuals. I went to see this accountant. He's really knowledgeable. He helped me. I'm paying the right amount of tax, and I'm filing my returns on time. That's the guy that you have to go to. So basically, that's what you, if you have an accountant that is good, then you'll tell your friend, you know, I deal with this person. I have been dealing with this person for a number of years, and I've never had any questions on any of the returns that I prepare.
And that's the way it should be. It's all about service. And if you give great service, as you just mentioned, somebody's going to recommend you to Mr. Pacheco, to Mr. Gonzalez, to Mr. Brown, to Mr. Stevens, and rightfully so. And your work speaks for itself over the period of years and stuff like that. I'm quite sure you carry a large client base that continue coming back to you because of the type of service that you render and you give to them on a daily basis or a weekly or monthly basis.
That is correct. But you know, in this business, you'll be surprised how many people will go to an accountant because they think that that accountant will give them the highest refund available. You don't go to an accountant.
It should not be about
that. No, it should be about filing your return properly. I've seen so many people, you know, file and do the long form, and which we're going to get into later on, and then they get questions by the IRS and they don't have the receipts. I mean, I give you a very good example. A few years ago, a client of mine came into my office, and he was filing with me for the first time. So I asked him to bring last year's return. So when I saw the return, I see that on Schedule A, it showed that he had donated $10,000 to a nonprofit or church. And I said, wow, you have a lot of money that you can donate $10,000. And he said to me, donate 10, you must be kidding. I said, well, the preparer here put down that you donated $10,000.
That's right on Schedule A.
It's right on Schedule A. And he said, I don't know why he did that. And I said, you know why he did that? Because if he hadn't put down $10,000,
you would get a return.
You wouldn't get a refund. You would have had to pay money to the IRS. And he wanted you to be happy by getting the refund without telling you that he did something wrong. And that's why whenever you see a preparer, an accountant, where people have to make a line to see that person, trust me, they're doing something illegal in there.
Well, they're shuffling the deck.
If a good accountant will go by appointments and make sure that the person does, you know, I've had clients ask me all kinds of things under the sun, and I tell them, I have other licenses here. I would never put any of my license in jeopardy because you want to get a large
just
refund.
for a few bucks.
Doesn't pay. Go home. You know, another good